warm welcome you all again in the session Developing and Implementing Grassroots Programs. Sports is an appealing tool or medium to get the community together for their own development. Also the youth, who are the change agents, if engaged in sporting activities, can change the direction of their own lives and work towards the development of the society at large. The need of the hour is to have such programs which will work in creating better and more positive perspective towards sports among the parents and community. The following discussion would guide us towards making possibilities for developing such programs which will help in the holistic development of children and would serve larger good for the community. For this session, Dr. Sujit Ranjan, Chief Operating Officer of Magic Bus India Foundation, would be the moderator. Dr. Sujit Ranjan has spent substantial 20 years in the community nutrition and health sector. He has done doctorate in public health and MBA in rural management. He is now working as Chief Operating Officer at Magic Bus India Foundation. Prior to this, he has worked with Care India, government, USAID, DFID projects in various states. I'd now like to invite Dr. Sujit Ranjan to take forward the discussion, please. Dr. Sujit Ranjan, please.
Thank you very much, and welcome to all of you for this very hardcore development issues like developing and implementing grassroots programs. And I believe this topic is very, very close to all of us, and we'll have a wonderful discussion today. And very rich, the speakers, those who are here with a very rich experience. And I'm very glad to moderate this session with the speakers, those who are from the public health background, I think the health, education, sanitation, and also hardcore development program management. So I take this privilege to welcome and invite Ms. Sanjana from Korea. Ms. Irabali Bandita Rao. Mr. Greenway, Hopkinson. Yeah, please. Mr. Thorsten Keffer. Thank you very much. So after this wonderful discussion during the plenary, I think, and the lots of questions were also raised during that plenary, like the grassroots program, how the role of sports and how the role of each and different players. I think this session will be more focused, and I'm very much sure that whenever we are talking about the development, that means all of us are very much aware development has also, taken different phases. We have started this development from the charity mode, then moved to the delivery mode, then moved to the right-based approach. So today, all of us are in the era of right-based approach. And when we are talking about the right-based approach, definitely very, I think the community engagement is very important. So if you see throughout the cycle of the program, like the community mobilization, as well as the community awareness, like how to make them aware, how to engage them, how the ownership, then the sustainability, then the scale up, all those things. So I think today we are going to have a wonderful discussion with regard to the engagement of community, then the sense of ownership among the community members, the empowerment, how they empower the community to get the best from them, and also the conducive environment. I think that's very much important, and sports is playing a very important role in this. And this session will be, I think, we are planning to start this session to listen the voices of our grassroots level functionaries, those who are coming with the live examples like how the this community engagement in program development, in program implementation, brought a big change. So I'm happy to invite here two of our grassroots level functionaries, like they are here, and I request Sneha, then I request Pinky. So both of here from both are the Magic Bus team members, and they will talk in Hindi, but for the like we are having the guests from the different parts of the world, so Kushum will translate into English. So I request Sneha, please come.
Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Sneha. I am training cum monitoring officer from Magic Bus India Foundation. मैं थोड़ा सा शेयर करना चाहूँगी अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस, अपना जर्नी पूरा का पूरा, क्योंकि मुझे 3.5 साल हो चुके हैं मैजिक बस में। और सबसे पहले जो मैंने स्टार्ट किया वो एज अ यूथ मेंटोर स्टार्ट किया था मैजिक बस प्रोग्राम। सबसे पहले हमने जब स्टार्ट किया, फर्स्ट बैच था, तो किस तरीके से स्टार्ट करना है, जस्ट ट्रेनिंग लेके आए थे, बट ये नहीं पता था कि फील्ड में किस तरीके से काम करना है, और बेसिकली चाइल्ड्स के साथ में। तो स्टार्टिंग में हमने कुछ बच्चों को इकट्ठा किया सेशंस लेने के लिए। बच्चे कुछ टाइम तक आते थे, 10-12 बच्चे मुश्किल से, और वो चले जाते थे, बट हम चाहते थे कि हमारा एक पूरा का पूरा सेशन का बच्चों का एक ग्रुप बने। तो काफ़ी ट्राई किया बच्चे आने के लिए, कुछ आने होते थे वो, जैसे कि मेरी टीम में हम 3 यूथ मेंटोर्स थे मेरे सावदा नांगलोई के पास में जो एरिया है। तो बेसिकली लड़कियों के पास में लड़कियां आती थी और बॉयज़ के साथ में बॉयज़ आते थे। तो हमने बहुत ज़्यादा ट्राई किया, बहुत परेशान हुए कि बॉयज़ बहुत कम आ रहे हैं सेशन में और लड़कियां बहुत ज़्यादा आ रही हैं। तो फाइनली एक टीम मीटिंग हुई। टीम मीटिंग में हमने डिस्कस किया और एक स्ट्रेटेजी बनाई कि जब हम सेशन लेने जाएंगे तो हम मेल और फीमेल दोनों एक साथ में जाएंगे, जिससे कि शायद वो बच्चे जो हैं वो थोड़ा सा कंफर्टेबल हो और हमारे पास में सेशंस के लिए आए। तो फर्स्ट डे ऐसे ही सेशन हुआ, थोड़ा सा देखा कि हाँ थोड़े ज़्यादा बच्चे आए हैं, तो कम्युनिटी मीटिंग्स भी की। फैमिलीज़ में जब पेरेंट्स के साथ में बात की, पेरेंट्स बिल्कुल भी, एक तो जॉब करते हैं, फ्री नहीं होते, साथ में उनके बात करना, गलियों में बात करना बहुत ज़्यादा टफ था। तो हमने वहाँ पे भी मेल फीमेल सब दोनों साथ में जाते थे कि पेरेंट्स को भी अपने बच्चों के प्रति थोड़ा सा ये हो, क्योंकि छोटा बच्चा भी वो अलाउ ही नहीं करते थे किसी के साथ में भेजना, और जो ग्राउंड है वो काफ़ी दूर है कम्युनिटी से। तो उसके लिए हमने कोशिश की कि दोनों के दोनों मिले। मेरे साथ में एक और यूथ मेंटोर था, हमने बात की, हम पेरेंट्स के साथ में मिले, पेरेंट्स को बताया, मैजिक बस का इंट्रोडक्शन दिया फुल, और बाद में उन्हें कम्युनिटी में बोला सेशंस लेके आने के लिए। काफ़ी बच्चे एग्री हुए, फैमिलीज़ एग्री हुई, मगर कुछ पेरेंट्स ऐसे थे जो बिल्कुल डायरेक्ट मना कर रहे थे कि हम क्यों भेजें हमारे बच्चे को, बच्चा स्कूल जाता है, ट्यूशन पढ़ता है, अगर बार बार आपके साथ में वो वैसे भी खेलता है, आपके साथ में खेलेगा तो उसका क्या फ़ायदा, और हम नहीं चाहते वो बच्चा वैसे भी टाइम वेस्ट करे अपना। काफ़ी बहुत ज़्यादा बोलने के बाद में हमने बस उन्हें इतना कहा कि हम सेशन स्टार्ट करेंगे, टाइमिंग बताया 4 बजे का, और आप प्लीज़ अगर आप नहीं भेजना चाहते तो प्लीज़ एक बार जस्ट देखो तो कि हम करते क्या हैं बच्चों के साथ में। तो पेरेंट्स आए, पेरेंट्स ने बहुत दूर से देखा कि हम सेशन ले रहे थे, और सेशन लेने के बाद में बच्चे जब रिव्यू प्रोसेस हुआ तो रिव्यू में कुछ बातें हुई जो उनके लिए काफ़ी अच्छी थी, और बच्चों ने जैसा भी डिस्कशन में बातें आई तो कहीं ना कहीं बच्चों के लिए काफ़ी अच्छा था। वो 4 लेडीज़ें थी, बहुत ज़्यादा उनको जो बिल्कुल मना करी थी, उन्होंने देखा कि किस तरीके से बच्चे खुद से अपना इनपुट दे रहे हैं, और फाइनली जब हमने सेशन कंप्लीट किया तो वो लेडीज़ें खुद हमसे मिलने के लिए आई, और उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा दुख में ये बहुत बात बोली कि प्लीज़ हमने इस तरीके से आपको मना किया, और प्लीज़ क्या हम नेक्स्ट सेशन में आपके साथ में बच्चों को भेज सकते हैं। तो फिर हम बड़े खुश हुए कि बहुत अच्छा है, स्टार्टिंग में 4 लोग और हमारे साथ में जुड़े। तो इस तरीके से धीरे धीरे जर्नी शुरू हुई मैजिक बस की, सेशंस की, बच्चे बढ़े, लोड बढ़ने लगा। लोड बढ़ते बढ़ते हमें थोड़े यूथ्स की ज़रूरत पड़ी कि हम यूथ्स को किस तरीके से मोबिलाइज़ करें कि वो हमें हेल्प करे सेशंस में, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पे कम्युनिटी यूथ लीडर्स होते हैं जो यूथ मेंटोर के साथ में फील्ड पे सेशंस लेते हैं। तो वहाँ पे भी बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आ रहा था, यूथ बिल्कुल भी मानना नहीं चाहते, क्यों एकदम आए बच्चों को खिलाए, उन्हें बिल्कुल एक अलग वो चाहिए, वो खुद से चाहते हैं कि नहीं सुनना और नहीं जुड़ के रहना। तो जैसे हम बार बार बोलते हैं डेवलपमेंट हमसे शुरू होता है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा सोचने के बाद में मैंने अपनी सिस्टर्स को ही पहले बोला कि प्लीज़ क्या तुम मैजिक बस में जुड़ना चाहोगी। तो उन्होंने भी पूछा कि क्या है, क्योंकि वो देखती थी तो थी मगर वो खेलने नहीं आती थी। तो वो आई, उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है हम मैजिक बस में जुड़ेंगे। हमने ट्रेनिंग फाइनल की, उससे पहले उन्होंने अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी साथ में जोड़ा, उन्होंने उनके साथ में हमारे साथ बात कराई, कुछ और स्कूल्स में कुछ कम्युनिटीज़ में गए तो हमने उन यूथ्स की हेल्प ली कम्युनिटी में जाने के लिए और मिले जाके कि किस तरीके से हमें उनको मोबिलाइज़ करना था। तो हमने फिर मैजिक बस का थोड़ा इंट्रो दिया, उनके लिए भी बताया कि उनके लिए क्या हेल्प होगी, क्या एक रोल मॉडल बन सकते हैं वो कम्युनिटी में अगर वो कुछ काम करते हैं, उनकी एक अलग से पहचान होगी। क्योंकि वो उस टाइम में मैजिक बस तो जस्ट था ही नहीं, तो वो सोचते थे पता नहीं क्यों बुल्ला हम खिलाएंगे, हमारे पास इतनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, हमारा फ़ायदा क्या होगा, जो आजकल हर कोई सोचता है। तो बहुत वो बातें की, समझाया। फाइनली सितंबर मंथ में हमारी ट्रेनिंग फाइनल हुई और हमने ट्रेनिंग दी बच्चों को। ट्रेनिंग देने के बाद में हमारा वर्कलोड थोड़ा सा इजी हुआ, सेशंस होने लगे, बट कुछ बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स थी। जैसे ग्राउंड की प्रॉब्लम थी, ग्राउंड में बहुत ज़्यादा गंदगी थी। बच्चों ने बहुत ज़्यादा, हमारे यूथ्स ने बोला कि दीदी क्या कर सकते हैं। पर मंथ हमारी मीटिंग्स हुआ करती थी। फिर हमने फाइनल किया कि क्या हम एक रैली कर सकते हैं, तो हमने एक रैली की हेल्थ के ऊपर पूरा। तो उसमें भी थोड़ा कम्युनिटीज़ में घूमे, 14 ब्लॉक्स थे, 14 के 14 ब्लॉक्स में घूमे, बच्चों ने बहुत हेल्प की, सेशंस के बच्चे, हमारे यूथ्स। फाइनली उसके बाद में भी कुछ पेरेंट्स माने कुछ नहीं माने, तो हमने एक ड्राइव किया कि साथ के साथ में हमने एक पूरा का पूरा पार्क जो था, पूरा सिवाल्स और यूथ मेंटर्स, टीएमओ सब ने मिलके उसकी सफाई की और फाइनली उनके पेरेंट्स को बुलाया और बात की कि आपके बच्चे अगर सेशन में आते हैं और आप ही के आसपास जो ग्राउंड है और आपने उसे एक कचरा घर बना दिया है, क्या वो ठीक है। तो वो थोड़ा सा उस चीज़ के लिए माने कि हाँ कहीं ना कहीं वो मेरा बच्चा भी जुड़ा हुआ है और वो भी सफाई कर रहा है वहाँ पे। तो उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है हम मानते हैं, मगर हमारे आसपास के लोग पता नहीं मानेंगे नहीं मानेंगे। बट थोड़ा बात करने के बाद में उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है हम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेते हैं उन्हें समझाने की। पर कल ही उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है हम 2 लोग जाएंगे और हम बातें करेंगे। इस तरीके से बातें हुई। फिर हमने एक और ब्लॉक था जो बहुत गंदगी थी, हमने अपने सिवाल्स यूथ्स को थोड़ा सा और हेल्प करने के लिए हमने सोचा कि क्यों ना हम एक रोल प्ले करें। तो हमने एक रोल प्ले पूरा का पूरा सीवाल्स के साथ में बैठ के तैयार किया और बाद में हमने रोल प्ले किया कुछ नुक्कड़ों पे जा जाके। तो वहाँ पे भी बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा एक पॉजिटिवनेस ये थी कि लोग इकट्ठा हुए, बातों को सुना और किसी ने भी ना तो वो इग्नोर किया और ना ही किसी ने कुछ गलत कमेंट किया उस चीज़ को लेके। तो फिर पेरेंट्स से मीटिंग की, फाइनली मैं ट्रेनिंग का मॉनिटरिंग ऑफिसर बनी। 4-5 मंथ के बाद में मेरा प्रमोशन हुआ और मैं मैजिक बस में उन यूथ मेंटोर से सीनियर टीएमओस बन गई थी। फिर टीम थी मेरे पास में, देन काफ़ी कुछ चेंज आया मेरी लाइफ में भी, क्योंकि काफ़ी मेरा कॉन्फिडेंट बिल्ड हुआ। टीम के साथ में अभी मुझे ट्रेनिंग भी देनी थी, टीम को संभालना भी था। तो उसमें फिर हमने काफ़ी सारे ग्रुप्स निकाले, ओपन टूर्नामेंट्स किए, पेरेंट्स को भी बुलाया, एमएलएस को, महापौर सबको बुलाया कि आप देखो किस तरीके से प्रोग्राम है, वो भी कहीं ना कहीं हमारे प्रोग्राम से जुड़े। इस तरीके से काफ़ी सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स में गए, डेमो सेशंस दिया। तो इस तरीके से धीरे धीरे बहुत अच्छी तरीके से प्रोग्राम बढ़ता गया और बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छा हुआ। और हमारे पूरे ग्रुप में 49% गर्ल्स हैं और 51% बॉयज़ है और सीवाइल्स में भी 50-50 का रेशियो है। तो ये सबसे अच्छी चीज़ थी बेसिकली, क्योंकि गर्ल्स का बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम था, यूथ्स का भी बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम था। लड़के लड़कियों के साथ में खेलने में फिर हिचकिचाते थे। बड़े बड़े 12 से 14 साल की लड़कियों को फिर दिक्कत आती थी कि सेशंस किस तरीके से ले। 11-12 साल तक का बच्चा तो चलता है साथ से, मगर बड़े सेशंस में बच्चे आ ही नहीं रहे हैं। देन फिर बात की उनसे, सीवाइल्स ने खुद से रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ली कि गर्ल्स हम हैं तो हम लड़कियों का पहले सेशंस लेते हैं और बॉयज़ का लेंगे, देन उनको मिक्स करेंगे। तो हमारा इसी तरीके से फिर अलग अलग सेशंस हुए। 1-2 महीने के बाद में जब बच्चे पूरी तरह कंफर्टेबल हुए, बच्चे पेरेंट्स भी मान चुके थे, देन हमने उनको मिक्स किया और अभी हमारे सारे बच्चे मिक्स खेलते हैं, फुटबॉल्स खेलते हैं। गर्ल्स की टीम जा रही है बाहर, अभी नॉर्थ दिल्ली में एक फ़ुटबॉल की पूरी टीम बनी हुई है, उसमें हमारे ग्रुप से 18 बच्चे गए थे और 18 के 18 सिलेक्ट हुए, जिसमें से 6 लड़कियां थी और वो खुद से इतना अच्छे हैं कि वो ज़्यादा बड़े नहीं हैं, 14-15 साल के हैं, और वो कम्युनिटी में जाने के बाद में बोलते हैं कि दीदी हम भी जो हम सीख के आ रहे हैं हम थोड़ा सा सेशन में इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहते हैं। तो वो बहुत अच्छा और पॉजिटिव चीज़ थी हमारे लिए। और मेरे लिए ये कि मेरा बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट तो बिल्ड हुआ, ट्रेनिंग्स में गई, फैमिलीज़ का काफ़ी ज़्यादा सपोर्ट हुआ, क्योंकि मेरी अभी 3 सिस्टर्स वो हैं, सीवाइल्स हैं, कम्युनिटी यूथ लीडर। एक सिस्टर अभी जॉब कर रही है मैजिक बस के थ्रू, एक कनेक्ट प्रोग्राम में डोमिनोज में गई है। एक सिस्टर अभी प्लेयर है फुटबॉल की, प्लस में वो खेलती भी है, खिलाती भी है। तीसरी पढ़ती है, सेशंस भी लेती है। तो बहुत अच्छा काम चल रहा है, फैमिली बहुत सपोर्टिव है, क्योंकि मैं भी हरियाणा से बिलोंग करती हूँ। तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हरियाणा में अलाउ नहीं होता फैमिलीज़ में बच्चों को भेजना। और मेरे ताऊ चाचा जब सुनते थे कि लड़कियां जॉब कर रही है तो उन्हें थोड़ा सा नेगेटिव लगता था। अभी एक रिस्पेक्ट आ चुकी है, वो बिल्कुल इस तरीके से ही मानते हैं जैसे कि लड़के, क्योंकि हम सिस्टर्स हैं। तो बहुत ही अच्छा, बहुत ही पॉजिटिव वे में वो हमें ट्रीट करते हैं। पूरी कम्युनिटी में एक अच्छा मॉडल के तरह प्रेजेंट होती है फैमिलीज़ भी, प्लस हमारे सारे के सारे यूथ मेंटोर सीवेल्स। अभी एक जंतर मंतर पे लास्ट ट्यूसडे मंडे की बात है, बच्चों ने एक रोल प्ले किया था वुमेन सेफ्टी को लेके और करप्शन को लेके। वो भी खुद से प्लान हुआ था, जस्ट हमने देखा, प्रैक्टिस देखी, और वो इतना बहुत ही बेहतरीन किया। तो इस तरीके से मैं बहुत खुश हूँ मैजिक बस में, और थैंक्स टू मैजिक बस एंड थैंक्स टू ऑल।
Okay, so I'm going to make it very short. I have seen Sneha grow up from the shy little girl. She was my batchmate when we got inducted to Magic Bus. We joined Magic Bus together. I have seen her journey from that shy little girl to becoming the confident person addressing all of you. She shared about her journey in Magic Bus. She joined as a youth mentor before 3.5 years. During that time, she had no clue how to mobilize the community, how to work in the community. She started small, using small strategy of bringing in as many children as they came in, then talking to the parents, inviting the parents into the sessions, gradually increasing the program from 6 kids to 12 kids to making one team, then mobilizing the youth in the community, starting with her sister, because that was her easier access, bringing her sister as a CYL. Her sister then helped her bring other youth in the community. They started getting the attention of the community by doing different drives in the community, which were more relevant to the community, from cleanliness drive, creating safe spaces for the children, making the parents aware that the safe spaces are the playgrounds are for the children to play their own children. So it's also their responsibility to make sure that the grounds are clean and they don't dump waste in the grounds and take care of it. So gradually that journey helped her get promoted to becoming a TMO, a training and monitoring officer. After she became a training monitoring officer, she had more responsibilities of recruiting more youth mentors like her and having an entire community as her responsibility. She has shared many stories of how she has been able to overcome the challenges. I'm not going to go in detail, but right now she has almost 50%, 51% boys and 50% girls. How many total children? 2,500 children, out of which 51% are boys and 49% are girls. And how many community youth leaders? 99. She has 99 youth who work with her as community youth leaders, who are the volunteer workforce for Magic Bus. And out of that, it's a 50-50 ratio of boys and girls. So it's a huge achievement. She also shared her personal story, her personal journey, how she has become the confident person that she is now, and how she was not, people were ashamed that she was going and working somewhere, coming from a conservative Haryanvi family. But right now she is respected in the community. Her family, her extended family acknowledge her leadership, and her sisters have also gone through the youth leadership and the livelihood program in Magic Bus and are employed right now through Magic Bus. One of the sisters is studying and 3 of them work as community youth leaders in Magic Bus. Thank you, Sneha, for sharing your story.
Thank you very much. So now one of our the program participants, the girl from our project, Pinky, is here, and we'd like to listen from you.
गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू। मेरा नाम पिंकी है, मैं 10th क्लास में पढ़ती हूँ। मैं अपने परिवार के साथ त्रिलोकपुरी में रहती हूँ। मुझे मैजिक बस ज्वाइन किए हुए 2 साल हो चुके हैं। पहले मैं अपने पापा के साथ रात को काम करने जाती थी एंड सुबह मम्मी के साथ। स्कूल में बहुत कम जाती थी। पहले मैं पढ़ती तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं थी। एक्चुअली पहले मेरा सारा दिन पापा के साथ रात को काम करने में निकल जाता था, दिन मम्मी के साथ निकल जाता था। एक दिन स्कूल में दी आई, सेशन ले रही थी दी, मैं भी गई। दी ने फुटबॉल के बारे में, मैजिक बस के बारे में बताया, सिखाया, कुछ एक्टिविटीज़ करवाई जो मुझे पसंद आई। दी ने ट्रायल रखा, मैं भी ट्रायल देने गई। तो दी ट्रायल में मेरा सिलेक्शन हुआ। उसके बाद दी और सतीश भैया ने एक टीम बनाई जिसमें मैं भी हूँ। दीदी ने टीम बनाई, वो दीदी टीम जामिया कॉलेज में ले गई थी। वहाँ पर हम सेकंड आए, मेडल मिले, सर्टिफिकेट मिले एंड खुशी हुई। मैंने अपने घर में जाके अपने पेरेंट्स को दिखाया। मेरे पेरेंट्स बहुत खुश हुए, उन्हें अच्छा लगा कि मेरी बेटी कुछ ला रही है। तो मेरे पेरेंट्स ने फिर मैंने अपने पापा से बात करी कि पापा मैं काम करना नहीं चाहती हूँ। मम्मी से भी बोला कि मैं काम करना नहीं चाहती हूँ। तो मेरे पापा ने टाइम लिया, थोड़ा सोचा कि अगर ये काम नहीं करेगी तो घर कैसे चलेगा। मेरे पापा ने फिर कुछ दिनों में सोच के बताया कि ठीक है, तू काम नहीं करेगी, तू खेल और पढ़ और लाइफ में आगे बढ़। मेरे पापा का इसमें बहुत सपोर्ट है एंड मेरी मम्मी का, साजिया दी एंड सतीश भैया मेरे लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। एंड अब मैं स्कूल रेगुलरली जाती हूँ, ट्यूशन भी जाती हूँ और मेरे पेरेंट्स मेरे पे बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान देते हैं। जब से खेलने लगी हूँ मेरा शरीर भी बहुत ठीक हो गया है एंड जहाँ मैं रहती हूँ वहाँ के लोग मुझे इज्जत से देखते हैं। बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे।
That's such an inspiring story, Pinky. I think you have overcome your struggles yourself, and more power to you. She shared her story where before 2 years she used to work through the day with her mother. She used to go and work outside, and she used to work with her dad through the night, helping him in his shop. So there was no time for her to do anything else. You know, she was basically fending for herself and her family. Then she met her Sajia, who is a youth mentor in her community in Trilokpuri. And she went to the session and she really liked doing the activities that they did. And then she became a part of the Magic Bus football team through a selection process. And after going through the session, she herself went to her family, her parents, and said that I'm not going to work anymore and I want to go back to school. So her father said that, okay, let me think about it, because if you stop working, who's going to get money to the house? And so he took a few days to think about it, and he came back saying that, okay, you can start studying now. It's your growing up years. You study and you play, and we'll make sure, we'll somehow take care of the family. And now she plays, goes to school regularly, and she's also doing very well. She's won medals in the MBFT team. And that's her story. Anything else that I missed?
No, it's fine. Thank you very much, Shun, and thank you very much, Sneha and Pinky. Very inspiring story, and this reminds me, you know, like all of us are from the development field. You know, when I was the student, we were the participatory ruler repressor, and all the time there was a mindset that I know, they do not know. That means the community, they don't know. I am the solution, they are the problem. But this is the other way around. How the community is the solution and they know what best can be done for them. So that's the most important thing, and that's the learning. And we are having, I think, this session, we are just making it like this. Like this session, we are going to discuss about the best practices. We are also going to discuss some of the challenges which we are facing this. We are going to discuss the enabling environment, how that can be bring and how that has been happened. And also, like, we will discuss about the stakeholders engagement. So this is the background of the entire session, and I'm happy to invite our first speaker, who is Mr. Grenville Hopkinson, and he is the franchise director of One Goal, hosted by World Vision International. He is a dynamic leader in this development sector for almost last 20 years, and his competencies like in the strategy, the performance management, the change management, and also the social impact. He is graduate from the University of Edinburgh, and also like he is currently studying also in MSc Strategy Marketing. So he is leading the One World international franchisee, and I welcome Mr. Greenfield for this presentation.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's a really great pleasure to be here and just hopefully share with you a little bit about our vision for how we can really make the most of the work that's already going and really escalate that or fast track that through this new initiative called One Goal. So let me just make sure we're seeing everything here. So over the last few months, we've been working with the Asian Football Confederation as part of their CSR strategy. They'd identified nutrition as one of the key issues that they wanted to address in Asia. So they were taking their role in social responsibility quite seriously. So we've been working on a campaign, and recently we had it branded, so that's called One Goal. And we're just at the stage where we're launching this and seeing this roll out in different countries, so that's part of my role. So what's One Goal all about? Well, really, it's about trying to harness or leverage football as a vehicle for preventing chronic nutrition and stunting. So stunting is a really complex issue, but essentially boils down to children not getting access to the right nutrients at a critical stage in life. And it's as we look at the Sustainable Development Goals conversation, nutrition is getting a more central role because we realize that it's a difficult nut to crack. So what's One Goal going to do? Actually, the business case for addressing nutrition is very strong. Health economists have identified that countries are losing maybe 4 to 8% of their GDP because their populations are malnourished. So actually, we've got a good news story to tell, and we're trying to use the football audience as a way to tell that to new people. One of the issues we have is that as development practitioners, we sort of know the answers. We know what is needed, and we know when the critical period is. But the people who are developing budgets and assigning expenditure don't necessarily know the full benefits of investing early in nutrition. So One Goal aims to increase the awareness of this critical window of the first 1,000 days. So that's the period when a child is conceived through to the age 2. And if a child has access to the right food at that stage and the right nutrient dense food, then you can set their life pathway in a better course. As we're trying to talk about the first 1,000 days, a primary audience is youth. We're seeing that actually we need to be talking to 16 and 17-year-olds because they're actually going to change their behavior. It's no point telling me what to eat because I will probably eat some stuff that is not so good. But 16 and 17-year-olds maybe are a bit more manageable. So we were really using social mobilization, the whole audience of football, getting access to these big high-profile events and using that as a vehicle to mobilize youth, especially girls, in this issue. Second thing we're trying to set out to do is really encourage healthy lifestyles by scaling up some of the best practice programs that we're aware of. So it's great to hear the case studies that we're hearing about through this conference. And that's exactly the sort of stuff that there's no point reinventing the wheel. We're not about trying to reinvent the wheel. We're about trying to join the dots and say, this is a best practice model. Let's take it to scale so that other countries can benefit from the same sorts of approaches. So we're looking at healthy lifestyles, right nutrition, and participation in grassroots football. I think this is where there's a real, it's not just about advocacy, but it's about actually getting people out and participating in sport. The third thing we're doing is really, as a longer term, we're presenting this business case that if you get this investment right up front in the first 1,000 days, governments and corporates will save a lot of money on the sort of the reduced healthcare burden as people are healthier for longer. So really that's the sort of narrative around the saving that is available if we invest properly in nutrition. So this is the story we're trying to tell. Joining the dots from the grassroots and making that a national agenda and turning it into proper nutrition policies. In a nutshell, I'll not go through this very in much detail, but basically one goal is trying to do three things, bring three things together. We're talking about advocacy and social mobilization. Because we've been officially endorsed by the AFC, we're getting access to all sorts of high-profile matches, networks, and they're fantastic opportunities to tell people about this critical issue for Asia. We're, as I said, scaling up effective programs. I think in this conference center, we have got a bunch of great experience in grassroots programs for soccer or different sports. We've also got technical know-how on what's needed for nutrition and how to get kids engaged in that and getting them access to food, about school feeding programs or whatever the program is. The point is we know what the answers are, and we should be trying to find ways to scale those up. The third thing we're doing is trying to innovate so that we're financially sustainable. With football, again, there's a lot of money in the sport, and there's a lot of opportunity for us to fundraise in new ways. That goes right down to the business model of One Goal. We're trying to set that up as a franchise so that we are able to recoup some of the operating costs whilst igniting a movement of football lovers that are wanting to address child nutrition. So just, I sort of highlighted this earlier, we're getting access to an incredible wealth of high-profile events. This strategy, the agreement, the lifespan of One Goal is to Qatar 2022. So we've got 10 years to make a difference to this issue. And as we work towards that, we are getting access to the Asia Cup, the Asian Women's Cup, Asian Champions League, all these massive events so that we can bring this issue really to a new audience. Who's involved in this? Actually, one of the things about nutrition is it's recognized it's a very complex issue and no one organization can do it by itself. So I think the beauty of One Goal is that we're bringing together a range of unique skill sets so that we can support each other in reaching this a wider impact. The AFC are certainly creating a platform for us. World Vision is one of the largest child-focused NGOs in the world, but focuses very much at the grassroots. That's why a lot of people haven't heard of them. They keep their heads down, working with communities for a long time. Then we've got the Asian Football Development Program, and that is really around, we're hearing the debate about grassroots football. Is it feeding the professional ladder, or is it reaching out for social development? The AFDP sort of in the middle there, and it really allows that social responsibility piece to come through the participation of grassroots football. Then we have Royal DSM, which is a corporate partner that is involved very much in the humanitarian lobby around nutrition and micronutrients. They provide micronutrients to the food industry. And then we have the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. Now they're leaders in finding new scalable market-led approaches for food production, mass fortification and getting really the right nutrients to the right communities. Okay, so this is just, I was saying we are just launching the campaign. This is just the initial launch video. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this presentation. This was a wonderful, and how sports can be used to promote nutrition and also the advocacy policy. That's very good, good learning. And now we are having the second speaker, Srimati Eravalli Bandita Rao, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Rural Development Foundation, Hyderabad. And Srimati Rao did her schooling and graduation from Hyderabad, and presently she is the Chief Executive Officer. Prior to that, she was also associated with Hyderabad Children Trust, and she is an eminent personality in development sector, and we are happy to listen from her. And she is her excellent work in the field of education, especially in Andhra Pradesh and also throughout the country. I think we have heard a lot from her best work. So it's an opportunity to listen from her, and over to Mrs. Bandita Rao.
Yeah, namaste to all. So we're just trying to link up our presentation. I do not know about the eminent personality. I'm just a small fry. So, but the journey with our association's NGO RDF is since inception, which is its 18th year now. We believe in quality education. Even though the children belong to the underprivileged background, we think they deserve the best education. So we give them the best education beyond textbooks education, which we all believe in. So apart from education, since we are now, I have been called on behalf of Magic Bus, something related to sports and athletes. Yeah. So just trying to show you some facts and figures given by different people. So coming to our thing, like we have set up with a very small number, 80 students in 1996. Now we have moved on to 1,500 kids, and we have impacted 3,000 children till now. And we have 140 locally, we have locally arranged teachers. We train them year after year. Then you can see two of the teachers here. He is the education coordinator for 4 schools, and behind is the headmaster of one of the school. These 2 people also belong to the underprivileged background. So we trained them. When they joined us, they were just in 10th class, 12th class. We believe in educating the staff too, along with the children. So I have grown along with them too. It's not that I have certain any degree in my hands when I started. So it was a good lab. We all grew together as a team, as Magic Bus and any sports believe, so we believe in teamwork. So here we go. So, yeah, this is the list of kids have participated in different levels in zonal, district, state, national, international level. We've been very privileged to have one of our girl child participate in the Beijing Olympics in archery, and athletes. We have 30 in state and 15 at national level. And archery, you can see 33 at state level and 30 in the national level. Kho-Kho, Kabaddi, volleyball, karate, fencing, yoga. This is just going, yeah. Are few of the activities which we are imparting to our girl kids and as well as boys also. So if you see the next slide, there's a ratio done between the gender-wise last year and last before year. If you see, there's an equal ratio of boys and girls participating in 2012, but whereas 2013, we managed the girls to rise up to the occasion and the more number of girls participating than the boys, you know. So you can see the 51 boys and 71 girls. And the girls' number has risen due thanks to martial arts, you know, yoga, fencing, kabaddi. So volleyball is another game which the girls got many prizes, and at the national level, state level, district and mandal level. Next, you can see from here on few of our kids who have participated in different games and athletes. You can see V. Pranita over there. She has represented India at 2008 Beijing Olympics, won 17 gold, 19 silver and 15 bronze at state, national, international levels. Right now she's working as coach, Sports Authority of India, continues to complete in archery and recently placed second in senior nationals. Coming to R. Mahesh, we also encourage our kids to be selected by the government in the sports school. They get free education and through sporting exercise and facilities to participate at the national state level too. So one of the budding young boy, you can see him running pose, this R. Mahesh. He comes from a very underprivileged background, like a mother is a cook, lost a father, had nowhere to go. He couldn't come to the school, but we had to literally pressurize him to come, to code him, coach him. Finally, he did come to the school. In 2 years, he was been selected by the Andhra Pradesh Sports Academy. So right now he's there, and his goal is to be join the Indian Police or the Army. The next is V. Sharada. So two of her, she has another brother who's also participated in archery. Both the kids are doing wonderfully well. She has gone to US, Buffalo, to participate in the archery. Even the teachers of us have not gone beyond the Warangal district or the districts where we have the schools, but the children are going all over places to participate for different games and athletes, you know. So here are a few more kids, and you can see the magic bus getting practice in our schools. One of S. Raju, PT of one of our school, he's an alumni. He has excellent athletes, Kho and badminton at district and state level. After obtaining sports diploma, joined one of our school as physical education trainer. He is right now the Magic Bus coordinator and is also implementing, as you can see, the Magic Bus activity. On to the right is B. Kautami, state level kabaddi champion, undergoing constable training in Hyderabad. There's another story to tell about her, just like other two girls have shared right now. Like she has lost her parents when she was a kid, and one of her distant uncle had brought her up. While she was in class 9, she lost that uncle too, and the uncle's son was not willing her to educate further. Then she had come back to RDF to help us out for her education. We helped her out, and she just literally did only 1,000 or 2,000 for her police constable coaching, and we at RDF tried to help her out. That little meager amount of 1,000 to 2,000 had really helped her to be part of the police team, and she is the first constable in our organization. So we are very proud to share that. You know? Thank you. And you can see another boy here, Archer. He's a coach in the junior college, and he was one of the school alumni. Right now pursuing BTech. And our goal is we want our children to participate in the next Olympics too in archery. So he's pursuing our goal. Let's hope with all your blessings we'll reach that goal, and we are hoping and dreaming more than the boy, girls participate in the next Olympics. Hope we will do it, but don't get at me if you don't get it. But we are wishing the best for our kids, you know. I think there's no harm in wishing the best and dreaming high. And on the right side, you can see one of the coach. You can see the headmaster of one of the schools sitting over there. His school PT, he's a black belt karate. His name is Lakshmana, and after obtaining sports diploma, he joined Martinla as physical education teacher. Has guided Martinla students to sports excellence at district and state and national levels. It's not that these teachers also are better than the kids, but the zeal to empower the rural kids is immense. So saying that because of him, the girl kids could reach to the state and the national level in fencing and in karate. So you can see the two girls over there. On the left is a fencing from class 6 and class 10 child in Matenla, one gold in district and state level karate, one gold in national in Jammu. And I was just talking to you about our child participating, the girls, if not the boys, in the Olympics. You can see on the left, in Lavanya, first year junior college. She has won 3 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze in nationals, placed overall 3rd in junior nationals, picked by national selectors to attend a training camp in Pune and Seoul in 2013. And she is also another budding, I should not say budding, but we're expecting her also to participate for the Olympics. Her name is G. Pranita. She has also won many medals. And right side you can see another girl who has got into the karate, and she is dreaming to join the Indian Police or the Navy, Army. So you must be wondering, how do we do that? We have set objectives, approach, and outcomes, and the objectives are we provide sports engagement as part of curriculum, go beyond classroom learning and regard sports as beyond extracurricular activity, build a healthy body and mind, build a spirit of cooperation, teamwork, and healthy competition. The way we approach is, before, during, and after school. Dedicated and trained physical education teachers in all schools, not one school. We have 4 schools as of now. We have all dedicated people. Summer and holiday camps at no cost to students for further training. It's all the team spirit of the teachers on the ground. They believe they are the stakeholders more than the board at Hyderabad. So regular participation in mandal and district level competitions, focused training for students competing at state and national level, and further nutritional support. Outcomes and impact. That's students regularly win medals in district level competitions. Students selected at national level have got jobs in railways, army, police, providing financial relief and benefit to parents. Most of them have had a financial impact in the families. They could educate the siblings, they could buy a piece of plot or build 2 rooms, and also take care of the parents' health. One of the boy who got into the army, his mother was suspected to have cancer few months back, and the government has given, like central government, 20 lakhs, which is next to impossible. I told him, even I have some element, even my children cannot afford that kind of money. And he had given only 1 or 2 lakhs. But unfortunately, she's no more. She passed away last week. But we're just trying to see what the impact it has on the sports empowerment on our students, and how different people are trying to empower them. Yes, selection to government sports schools provide huge financial relief to parents vis-a-vis free tuition. Sports alumni come back to mentor students interested in sports careers. So we also believe in alumni giving back to us, because we feel they're also part of the society. Because they got benefited, they should also impact the other underprivileged co-students. Yeah, you can see different games and sports and athletes happening in different schools: volleyball, karate, kho-kho, kabaddi. You can see one of the Magic Bus coach, Someshwar, teaching one RDF children. And this is what I can share as now. Thank you very much. And this is our information. You can have it over there. Thank you very much to each and every. Thanks, Sujit, for giving us a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you very much, madam, for this wonderful presentation. And we are fortunate enough here to listen that after nutrition, now the education, how sports can make a, I think, very visible change. And sports was always the part of human society, and we are listening lots of things, how, maybe this has been taken as a kind of ad hoc manner, but how the systematic way if you can take the things how can be changed. So this was a wonderful presentation. Thank you very much, madam. And now we are having the next speaker is Sanjana. And Sanjana is from Kriya. She is the program manager in Kriya, and she is working on the issues like gender, sexuality, rights, and she has used medium like theater, music, arts, and sports. Sanjana is, she did her post-graduation from Tata Institute of Social Science, and she is here with the presentation, which is very much related with the youth and also like the young children. Thank you very much.
जैसे घर के लोग कहते हैं अब लड़की 14 साल की हुई है उसको नहीं खेलना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं खेलना चाहिए? लड़की का अधिकार है खेलना, इसलिए हमें खेलना चाहिए। वो कहते हैं पूरा शरीर हिलता है, उसको नहीं खेलना चाहिए।
मुझे हमेशा से यही बोला गया कि तुम हर चीज़ के लिए ना बोलो, लेकिन अब मैं हाँ बोलना चाहती हूँ। मैं जो करना चाहती हूँ उन सब चीज़ों के लिए हाँ बोलना चाहती हूँ। स्कूल जाने के लिए हाँ बोलना चाहती हूँ, बाहर घूमने के लिए हाँ बोलना चाहती हूँ, फुटबॉल खेलने के लिए हाँ बोलना चाहती हूँ। सब चीज़ों के लिए जो मेरे को खुश करती है उसके लिए हाँ बोलना चाहती हूँ।
Hi, my name is Sanjana. I work with an organization called Kriya. We are a feminist human rights organization based in New Delhi. And we work to advance women human rights, to build feminist leadership, as everybody saw in the photo montage. And we work on improving sexual and reproductive health and rights for girls and women. I'm here to talk about this program called It's My Body program, which basically works with adolescent girls within the age group of 12 to 16 years in rural areas of Bihar, Jharkhand, and Uttar Pradesh. And in order to do so, we use the medium of sports. And the photo montage you saw was a collection of various photographs from the program, which I'm going to talk about a little more in detail now. How did we start this program? Basically, this program was initiated in 2009 as a campaign against son preference, where we wanted to talk about preference given to boys in families, schools, and communities, and how that leads to violence and discrimination for young girls. And talking about discrimination faced by girls in access to education opportunities, in access to health opportunities, and even nutrition in families. Why is it that girls get to eat last at homes, or why is it that the boys get to drink the milk at home? So very everyday manifestations of violence that girls face at home. And this campaign was the first time Kriya started working directly in the community, because otherwise Kriya, we mostly work through trainings, institutes, workshops, developing resources. And we have been working with a network of community-based organizations which are feminist, which are women-led. And so for this campaign, we collaborated with 5 organizations in UP and Jharkhand, and we worked with over 1,000 girls in these states through a range of different mediums. So the mediums, like you all saw in the photo montage, included a range of creative mediums. So there were rallies, we organized debates where girls got together and spoke about why their right to education, why they do not get to go to school. We did a truck yatra across 200 villages in UP and Jharkhand. Again, all girls participated in that yatra, went from village to village, performed. We used theater, and we developed resources, which is these posters which challenge norms and stereotypes around gender. And the other medium that we used was sports, which is why we're all here today to talk about why is the medium of sports important. And I think going back to why we began using sports, when we started doing our work and we started using the campaign, a lot of girls started joining the campaign. And that time we wanted to bring them together in a group which would meet more frequently, which would talk more about their issues, their rights. And a lot of ideas were floating around, and lots of people said, let's try embroidery, let's try stitching. It's girls, they will be able to make a livelihood option out of it. Let's try tailoring. And because we essentially believe in challenging norms, and so do with our partners as well, which are feminist in the way they work, so we wanted to use sports. And it did work out, and it did come out as a very, very strong medium which challenged all norms around gender. The areas that we worked in, girls are not allowed to come out of their houses. They do play. It's not like they don't play. It's not like we have gone and told them start playing now or introduce the concept of sport. But they play games like kabaddi and kho-kho, which can be easily played in your house. You know, you don't have to go really far. You're not accessing a public space which girls are not supposed to be seen in. So the idea was to bring them together, make these groups, and use sports like football, use sports which will allow them to come out of their houses, talk about issues that are related to them. And it will challenge norms not just around gender, but norms around sexuality. And it will challenge, and it did challenge the control that is placed on the bodies of girls. As girls, I mean, when we started working, I mean, this is something I'm sure a lot of women here can relate to. The way the girls are brought up, we're always told to keep our legs crossed, always to, not really talk loudly, always. A lot of the girls that we were working with, they were not, when they would laugh, they would always cover their mouth and laugh. And running in the field, like if you saw in the video, the first thing that the girls say is that girls are not allowed to play because unka sharir hilta hai, their body moves, and that is something which the community is not ready to accept. And so sports as a medium was challenging all these norms, and that's what we tried to do through this program. And gradually, a lot of conversations happened with the girls, and we realized that one of the things that we have to talk about is challenging this control over the body, giving them more information about health, because the areas that we work in, there are health workers, there are Anganwadi workers, there are ANMs, but the young girls, 12 to 13-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls are not really accessing those services. The health workers are not talking to adolescent girls, they are talking to married women who need services, who can talk about these things. So the idea was also to create that access to the services that are available at the community level, to talk about health, to talk about rights, to talk about the right to your own body. And therefore, once you are talking about your body, you're talking about a lot of decisions that are made related to your body. So it's about who you choose to be in a relationship with, whether you want to marry or not, what kind of clothes you want to wear, what is the hairstyle that you want to choose. So a lot of these conversations started happening, and that's what this program focuses on, which is the It's My Body program. So as of now, the program basically is being implemented with 15 community-based organizations in UP, Bihar, and Jharkhand, and it reaches out to over 6,000 adolescent girls. And in terms of engagement with the community, we are working through a range of activities. We're trying to reach out to health service providers, involve them in the program, involve the schools, involve the parents, involve the local panchayat leaders, and especially the elected women representatives, because it's important not just to have the leaders on your side, but also to make them more aware of why it's important to allocate budgets to schemes and services which can be accessed by girls. Why is it important to make that football available to girls in schools, which was till now only available to boys? So those are the kind of activities we organize as part of this program. And just going back to the two questions that this panel wanted to address, what motivates a young person to get involved in a particular sport? So from our experience of implementing this program, what this program tried to do was it created a space for girls in the community which did not exist. So the collectives of adolescent girls that are formed at the village level make that space which prioritizes girls per se. The value that is given to girls and families, the value that is given to girls in schools was something we felt that we needed to emphasize that more, where girls could just come and talk about their needs, what they wanted to do. A lot of the girls said, we don't want to play, we just want to sing and dance. But the idea was to make that space available, which would be safe, which would be interactive, and where they were learning something. And as part of our sessions, we provide information, we develop resources on issues of sexuality, gender, reproductive health, and rights. We talk about issues that are relevant to girls who are growing up, adolescent girls. So a lot of focus is on bodily changes, knowing your body, knowing about the health, knowing about rights. Sports, again, why did we choose football? So till date, across 15 partners, not all partners are ready to, not all areas where we implement want to use football, because it's still seen as something which is only associated with boys. It's still seen as something where the girl has to really walk to the other end of the village, to the big field to play. And so therefore questions of safety, questions of really going out arise. But that is another reason why we want to choose football, because they do have access to a lot of other games, but this is still something which is kept away from them. Recently, we also had we still have, there are boys in the villages who have said that we give the small field to the girls and the big field is for us to play. They keep the field dirty. They have often come and deflated the football because they do not like the fact that the girls are using their grounds. And lastly, what motivates them is this strength of being in a collective, and how that has helped them, or how that has motivated them to be more assertive for things that they want to do. So, there are many examples. I could talk about that in detail later on. But the way the girls are actually using the space, So for example, we've had groups of girls who have had to drop out of class 8 because the school is not in their village and it's at the district. And going there is the challenge. But the collective, the 4-5 girls have gotten together and said, if we go together, we can do it. If our parents will give us that permission to do it. So there are various kinds of examples how girls are using that space, using that group to basically talk about issues and to demand rights that they've always been kept away from. And the second question, I think, which the panel wanted to talk about was what keeps her involved over a longer period of time. So these are just quotes I've taken from the participants of the program, which will basically highlight what keeps them involved. So one of the girls says that the way you create opportunities, not just for learning, but also for doing, where the girls get a space to actually take that learning forward. So some of the girls who were participants are now beginning to train other girls. They're beginning to motivate other girls to come out of their homes and participate in the group. One of the girls has joined as a trainer. So the idea to keep the space really dynamic, keep it creative, create opportunities for them, which I think we also heard from Sneha and Pinky today, like how do the participants also take more leadership in the program? And what are the different ways in which you can offer those opportunities and create leadership spaces for them? And the other thing, so if you see this quote from Roshni, who's from Mahoba, she talks about that how whenever they used to go to school, the trucks would, the boys on the cycles would trouble them, and they would really, harass them. And there have been cases where girls have now started talking about sexual abuse. They've started talking about harassment on streets. And we've had girls who have actually gone and slapped someone in the village because that person was teasing her, and it led to a huge outbreak in the village, and the panchayat was called and all that. And because of that girl, several other girls stood up in the meeting and said, yes, this guy has done this similar thing to me before. So I think the idea is also to encourage them to demand their rights. But again, going back to what we started the panel with, how does the community engage? The community has to be supportive. The community has to be very enabling. Especially in our program, what we fear is we are working with adolescent girls. We are working on issues of sexuality. We're talking about rights. And we're talking about, in area where girls have never been allowed to actually go out of the homes as well. So there is a huge challenge of backlash and resistance from the families and communities, which we are addressing almost every day. And therefore, involving the community is very important. This last quote is by an elected women representative from Jharkhand. And when she had come for one of the events, this is what she had to say, where she said that sports and health are two areas which have never been prioritized for women and girls. And therefore, through this program, we are trying to bring them together. And so involving the community is very important. And from that, just going back to the challenges, like I said, and something which even I think Sneha